You are onto the Power Circuit, proudly brought to you by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. I am Amara Agugoisi. Let's get through today's edition. Minister of Power, Engineer Abubakar D. Aliyu, says Zungaru hydropower plant ready for inauguration. Sustaining industrial harmony, improving performance is our hallmark, says TCN Governing Board. As technology continues to improve, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, is in touch with the trend, has made advanced steps in the procurement of a supervisory control and data acquisition SCADA, new Oyo Substation, a boost to transmission network, says Regional Transmission Manager. The Minister of Power, Engineer Abubakar D. Aliyu, has said the 700 megawatt Zungaru hydropower plant in Niger State has been completed and ready for commissioning. The minister stated this during a tour of the power facilities with members of the Senate Committee on Power.
The Zungaru hydropower plant was constructed by CNEEC and Sino-Hydro of China and is said to be the second largest hydroelectric power plant in Nigeria, after the 760 megawatts Kainji hydroelectric power plant. During the inspection tour, Engineer Aliyu stressed that the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, will be able to evacuate power from the facility soon. The minister also said all the turbines has been tested and plans were being concluded for the official launch of the project. He added that the huge investment in the Zungaru power plant was part of the federal government's commitment to improve electricity supply across the country. Engineer Aliyu further noted that apart from giving more power to Nigerians, the project is currently providing employment for many Nigerians and will provide flood control, irrigation, as well as water supply to the people. In his remarks, the Chairman Senate Committee on Power, Gabriel Suswam, expressed satisfaction with the project, noting that the Senate mandated his committee to inspect the project and report back to the upper chamber of the National Assembly.
The Governing Board of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, led by its chairman, Engineer Bukar Bulama Buni, says sustaining industrial harmony, improvement of the company's performance in the Nigerian electricity supply industry, as well as staff welfare are the hallmarks of the company. Engineer Buni stated this when the board received national executives of the Senior Staff Association of Electricity and Allied Companies, SIAC, on a courtesy visit at the TCN headquarters, Abuja.
The TCN board chairman noted that the entire board members had looked forward to the courtesy call as a platform for strengthening the existing harmonious relationship.
We are here to assist the management so that the welfare of the union is taken care of. We as a board, of course, will have to work with the management so that when you take your grievances to the management, you sit down and discuss with the management and then let the management present it to the board for consideration. But believe me, whatever, on most occasions, whatever the management submitted to the board for consideration on behalf or for the welfare of the union, it was never rejected.
Engineer Buni further urged the members of the Senior Staff Union to sustain their dedication to service towards enhancing the performance of the company.
We have so many ideas to give to the management to scout other areas where they can generate enough revenue for the development of the TCN and also for to take care of the staff welfare. So I think, as you said, President, discipline is very important. The line of command should be adhered to.
In his remarks, The President General of SIAC, Comrade Benedict Chika, said the relationship between the company and the union was not rosy until a year ago when the current administration of the union made further commitments to work more robustly with the management.
It became our modus operandi that we must stabilize the unions so that we can have an atmosphere conducive for work. That we have done. And I can say for sure that the cordial atmosphere we enjoy between SIAC and NUI today was well thought out and planned by this administration. Today, you will not hear anything like the two unions are fighting, infighting, and whatsoever. We had made sure that understanding becomes our pivot.
He further assured the board and the management of TCN of commitment of the union to promote cordial working relationships.
And we thank you so much that thus far you have done very well by my own assessment and by the assessment of SIAC. We do not have any complaints, and we know that you have cooperated with the MD. The MD has been labor friendly. Even as you can see, once he calls, please understand, we always understand with him.
Some of the board members made remarks about how TCN and SIAC can further strengthen their relationship towards delivering a top-notch world-class transmission grid.
We were appointed by Mr. President to come aboard as members of the board here, not to do anything but to add value to the operation of the TCN. And we, the board, the management, and you will all have a common cause. Our common cause is to better the electricity sector in Nigeria.
Unionism should be able to add input into a system that should take it to greater heights.
So for us to progress as board, executive, and union, we need to effectively communicate with each other sincerely and honestly. And unless we do that, there will be no understanding. If there is no understanding, there will be no progress. And we are here to ensure absolute success, 100% of TCN.
Giving a vote of thanks at the end of the meeting, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of TCN, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, lauded the board for the commitment towards enabling working environment.
Let me start by thanking the board for having the time to be here, even though I know we have a lot of things ahead of us. For the next 3 days, we'll be here trying to resolve issues that concern TCN. But that does not stop the board from sparing 2 to 3 hours to come and have a meeting with the union. So thank you very much once again.
Engineer Abdulaziz also applauded the SIAC members for their efforts at sustaining cordial relationships.
It is a very useful deliberations because you have seen the issues we started talking here. And knowing that this is the first interaction you have with the board. So when we are going to have another meeting, I'm sure more issues are going to be discussed. Let me also thank the union for the cordial relationship you have with the management. Since we started almost 3 years ago, it has been cordial, and we have been living in peace.
The power circuit continues shortly. Please stay with us.
my God. What caused this fire? Eh? Hey, God help us. Assuming this thing happened in the night, nobody from this building would have come out alive.
Madam, hey, this is why we have warned landlords not to erect structures under the high voltage lines. If this high voltage line fell on the ground, nothing would have happened. But because this structure has been wrongly erected and the high voltage line fell on it, that is why whatever has happened has happened. We advise landlords to always consult the Transmission Company of Nigeria on their safety compliance on the right of way, so that something like this does not happen again.
Oga, we are talking of burnt house and you are talking of right of way. What is right of way and safety compliance?
Safety compliance simply means before erecting any structure around any electricity tower or line, there are safety distances you must adhere to. These safety distances are 25 meters on both sides of the electric tower in the case of a 330 kV, 15 meters on both sides of the electric tower in the case of a 132 kV, and 7.5 meters on both sides of the electric tower in the case of a 33/11 kV. These stipulated safety distance instructions are what we call right of way. If these simple, basic safety distances are adhered to, trust me, there will be less loss of property and lives resulting from cut transmission lines.
Visit Transmission Company of Nigeria office nearest to you for your safety regulations before erecting structures. Let us save lives and properties and build a stronger Nigeria. This message is from the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, transmitting electricity in the most efficient and effective manner.
As technology continues to improve, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, is in touch with the trend, has made advanced steps in the procurement of a supervisory control and data acquisition SCADA and electricity management system project. To ensure a mastery of this new system, the company has constituted a steering committee that would guide the various working groups on the SCADA implementation.
At the end of the meeting, which took place at the TCN corporate headquarters in Abuja, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of TCN, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, said the management was making priceless efforts to improve on the transmission network and by extension, the national electricity grid.
They selected you because they feel that you have the capacity and you are going to make an impact. That's why they put you there. So the first thing you have to do is to protect your integrity. They didn't just put you there because they like you or they know you. They put you there because they know you can do the job. So this kind of issue is something very important.
The Executive Director, Independent System Operations at TCN, Engineer Maman Lawal, said the event was an epoch-making one, noting that the MD approved the constitution of the steering committee.
I would regard it as an epoch-making event, but it actually gave us the latitude to constitute the steering committee, which is meant to supervise the activities of the working groups as constituted.
Also speaking, the General Manager System Operations at the TCN corporate headquarters, Engineer Nafisat Ali, tasked the participants on further commitments towards attaining the desired objectives of the steering committee.
The SCADA is a must-have for the system operator. It's a tool that the system operator uses for grid management.
In his remarks, the General Manager Technical, Independent System Operation at TCN, Engineer Balarabe Abdullahi, said the ongoing supervisory control and data acquisition system and electrical management system projects consist of effective integration of substations and equipment to the SCADA, noting that the committee is tasked with a huge coordination responsibility.
The project seeks to provide functional SCADA/EMS telecommunication infrastructure for effective rig management. Review of management commitment towards successful execution of the project. Certain gaps have been identified and if not resolved will hinder or delay the successful implementation of the project.
Participants also went through an interactive session to discuss the terms of reference of the steering committee.
The brand new 132-33 kV oil transmission substation with a 60 MVA power transformer is bringing a boost to the transmission system. This is according to Engineer Mahmoud Suleiman, the Regional Transmission Manager of Oshobo region of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. Engineer Mahmoud, while speaking during the energizing of the new substation, said the team ensured all is set for the commissioning of the new power transmission facility.
It was a well-deserved jubilation at the brand new 132-33 kV transmission substation delivered by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, in Oyo town of Oyo State. Just after oil was poured into the 60 MVA power transformer, the substation was fully energized. Commenting on the feat at the substation, the Regional Transmission Manager of Oshobo region of TCN, Engineer Mahmoud Suleiman, said the energizing of the substation was quite successful.
We are here and we are all jubilating and happy that the new 1x60 MVA transformer at Oyo has been energized successfully at 16:27 hours of today. And that's a remarkable achievement. And this work was handled in-house by TCN, fully sponsored by TCN with the community support and cooperation. So it's a milestone today in Oyo, and we are very happy.
The TCN official said the brand new substation was delivered in less than 2 years and is a key infrastructure that will revolutionize the bulk power supply experience under the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, IBEDC.
I think in less than 2 years. Initially, it was a Mobitra that was supposed to be moved here, 30 MVA. But along the line, there was a change of decision and management in a fit to supply 60 MVA. And today is what we are witnessing the commission. So virtually less than 2 years.
Engineer Suleiman lauded the TCN board and management for prioritizing power transmission system expansion projects nationwide.
TCN management is fully committed to upgrading our wheeling capacity. We have been commissioning a series of projects, and that's what it entails. Our appeal is to our sisters company in the value chain, that the distribution companies, that wherever we have capacity, they should try as much as possible to evacuate, and TCN will always be there to provide the needed stations within their franchise area. So it's really well appreciated. The TCN management is doing a very wonderful job, and the staff as well. They are committed, and I'm happy. Most of our projects have been handled in-house. So thank you very much.
The Acting Assistant General Manager, Transmission at Ayede Sub-Region, Engineer Tawhid Adiroba, highlighted the impact the new substation's operation will have across some catchment areas in Oyo State.
The impact this station is going to have will be much, in the sense that where they were getting their supply from initially was Iseyin, which is some kilometers far away from here. And before the supply gets to this place, most of the loads will have been lost along the way. But now we are proud that Oyo Town, this particular station, can now radiate power to so many places within its environment, places like Awe. They can even radiate back to Ibadan. If there's a problem there, they can radiate back to Ibadan. Then I think the business activities will come up again in Oyo Town.
After the substation was energized, the officials checked to ensure that the state-of-art control room equipment was in top shape and responded accordingly.
Again, here are the headlines. Minister of Power, Engineer Abubakar D. Aliyu says Zungaru Hydro Power Plant ready for inauguration. Sustaining industrial harmony, improving performance is our hallmark, says TCN Governing Board. As technology continues to improve, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, is in touch with the trend, has made advanced steps in the procurement of a supervisory control and data acquisition SCADA. New Oyo Substation, a boost to transmission network, says Regional Transmission Manager. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, also seeks your collaboration and support. You can do this by expressing your views, comments and responses on the TCN YouTube channel, TCN_Nigeria. On Facebook, kindly connect with Transmission Company of Nigeria. For Twitter, search for @TCN_Nigeria. TCN is also on Instagram, TCN_Nigeria. Email messages are always a pleasure via affairs.public@tcn.org.ng. TCN has an active, responsive and interactive website, tcn.org.ng, where you can get information on bulk power transmission and other activities of TCN. With your support, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, is always poised to deliver on transmitting electricity in the most efficient and effective manner. I am Amara Agogoisi. Have a good time.